guys?
Hey guys, it's your girl Melissa.
And it's your boy James, and we are
The Answers. And we're back for another YouTube video. So before we get into the details of this hot topic, make sure that you subscribe and cut your bell notifications on so that whenever we come out with new content, you're the first to be notified.
That's right. So today we're going to do something a little special today.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do some shout outs.
Yes. So Ansah Squad, we absolutely love you guys. For those who are a part of the Ansah Squad and they're liking our videos, they're sharing our content, they're commenting, they're engaging in our Ansah Squad community. We want to make sure that we shout you guys out on our episode. We're going to do this at random. And today,
drum roll.
Subscription shout out goes to Miss Robin.
What's up?
Yes, in Atlanta, Georgia. So we just want to tell you, Miss Robin, thank you so much for being a part of the Ansah Squad.
We love you, and we appreciate your comments and you know your suggestions for topics on videos. So today's video, we are going to get into a very important topic that a lot of couples, every couple deals with.
Oh yeah.
And it's gender roles.
Who does what?
Who does what in a relationship?
What's your place? What's your role?
Gender roles. So we're going to talk about gender roles between a man and a woman in a relationship. And we're going to discuss how, you know, our gender roles play a factor into our relationship and how we deal with it and what our philosophies are. So without saying much, we're going to get right into the first topic.
Yes.
The first topic.
And just a disclaimer, we're not saying that this is right or this is wrong. We're just sharing our perspective as a Christian couple.
That's right. And the first topic is finances.
Yes.
Cha-ching, money.
Wow. You're going to just hop right into the
most
sensitive
topic,
huh?
We're just going to jump right into it, guys. What are your views on finances, gender roles wise in a relationship?
Oh. You guys, I can go on and on for this topic.
Yeah.
When it comes to finances, I think people have the perception that men are always supposed to be the breadwinners.
Yeah.
Men are, like you said, men are supposed to be the providers. Men are supposed to be the people that are paying all of the bills. And to be completely honest, I completely disagree with that. I do feel like you guys are the providers, but I do think that God created women to be a helpmate. So in terms of, you know, helping the man provide, absolutely, that's our duty. I also think that it's also important for women to financially support their men when necessary. Say for example, if your man is paying all of the bills and you know he may not be able to take care of this bill this month, it's perfectly okay for, you know, as a woman to step in and to take care of that particular finance.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you know, that's why I love her so much, you know, because she is a partner. It's not just like, you know, all the burden is on me, even though that's what I want to do, because technically I want to sometimes take all the burden on myself, but having a partner that, you know, when times are tough, you're able to lean on. Because I'll speak for our personal situations, you know, there were times where, you know, she made more money than me in the relationship and I made more money than her. And there were times where, you know, I didn't have enough money coming in. So she would kind of front most of the rent or most of the expenses. And there were times where I would make more money and I would front most of the rent or the expenses.
And pay all of the rent.
And take care of everything. So it's about having that balance, you know, between the two. Overall, my ideology is, shoot, if we both can pay no rent or no expenses, that's the best.
Oh yeah.
Which is coming down to, as a partner and in a relationship, being able to create a business or some form of asset that can bring in passive income that can take care of all of your expenses. That way it's not a situation where it's like, oh, well, you know, is the man gonna pay all the rent? Is the woman gonna pay all the rent? No, we both have created a business or an asset, whether rental property or whether YouTube or whether whatever it is. That way that's taking care of all our expenses. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I mean, in that case, you know, that's the new millennial. That's what people are, you know, being able to do, is create more passive income and think about more generational wealth. So yeah, that was a mouthful right there, but
that was your own topic.
I was kind of relating it to what, you know, and how the bills and finances will be taken care of. Which is kind of, you know, well, y'all get what I'm talking about, man. That's the goal. I mean,
y'all know my baby can talk, Lord Jesus.
Nah, that's not even where we going. We talking about finances.
Yes. So in a nutshell, when it comes to finances, our personal beliefs, and again, there's no wrong or right answer. You have to be able to find out what works best for you and your personal relationship. But for us, we found that it works great for us to be partners in everything. So we share everything. Sometimes he pays all the bills. Sometimes I pay all the bills. It works for us. We just think that it's fair, and God has created man to be the provider, but for a woman to be the helpmate of the provider. And sometimes that requires you also being the provider sometimes. That's right.
And that means, guys, you got to step up. I mean, there's sometimes there are guys out there that sometimes take advantage of hardworking women. And, you know, they, you know, just allow the woman to do all the cooking, cleaning, and all that. And then, you know, decide to, you know, put the financial burden on them as well. And that's not cool. You, as a man, you want to relieve that from your woman. You want her to be able to have the freedom to live in her purpose and not have to work all the time and have to worry about clocking in 9 to 5. My goal is to make sure she's comfortable, make sure our family's comfortable, and I'm gonna do that by any means possible, whether it's creating some type of asset like I was saying, to where that takes care of our expenses. So that's definitely our views on it. So
I think you touched on a really important topic. I don't think women get enough credit, because I mean, everybody always talks about how the guys are supposed to be the breadwinners, they're supposed to be the providers. But a lot of women work the same, if not more, amount of hours a week as a man does. And not only that, we have to come home and cook dinner. We have to come home and clean. We have to make sure we look good. You know, that's a whole nother part-time job in itself.
That's true.
So I think that, you know, I just want to take this time to Ansah Squad, hard working women.
Shout out to y'all.
To you guys, because I don't think
single
that
moms.
Yes. Too. 100%. I don't think that us as women get enough credit for a lot of the roles that we take on. But in retrospect, in regards to household chores,
so that's our segue to our next. So our next segue from finances is household chores or household, you know, activities. So just me speaking on that. You just gonna let the captain speak on that one? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the captain of the household chores.
You the captain.
I'm the captain of the household chores.
That's right.
So we feel the exact same way as we do with finances.
That's right.
We split finances, so we split household chores. I don't think that it's, again, fair for, you know, us to be splitting the bills but not splitting the household chores. That's just our personal beliefs. I feel very strong about that. As James, as he knows.
That's true. And I mean, I gotta step up, and you know, that's the thing. And when it comes to household chores, it's about doing the certain chores sometimes that you like to do as well. So like if you're a guy and you like to, like, I know I do the sweeping, I take out the trash. I sometimes do like some of the cleaning or like making up the bed and like, you know, tidying up and mopping and stuff like that. And she would necessarily do like, you know, every once in a while, man. Come on, man. I use the little Swiffer thing.
I'm just joking.
Cause see how she tried me, y'all. Oh man. So all right. So like, and she does most of the dishes and like the cooking and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, you know, because she's good at like certain things that she does, and she wants it to be done a certain way. So sometimes I'm gonna just let her have that. Sometimes I'll try to do the dishes or something, and she'll be like, "Babe, leave that alone. I got it." And I'll be like, "Cool. What else can I do?" I mean, she'll be like, "All right, go grab the broom." I'll be like, "Bet. All right, I'll start sweeping." You know what I'm saying? So we both are doing something, but it's not like all the burdens on her to be like doing everything. And a lot of times she does it out of love. Like she'll just, you know, be doing it, and I'll try to see if I can match her energy by doing something as well. So and
that's crazy because you're touching on my love language. I don't know if you guys watched our episode of love languages, but if you haven't, make sure you go back to watch that video, because that was another juicy hot topic as well. But like, to touch base on what James said, all in all, we just share everything. We share our finances, we share our household chores. We find what works best for us.
And cleanliness is next to godliness. So I mean, you gotta, I'm not gonna lie, she's the cleaner person out of the two of us, and you have to.
Too, baby.
Yeah, I'm clean too, but you know, you have to be with somebody that inspires you to want to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And as being a guy, I grew up in a household with all boys. So, you know, I wasn't the cleanest person. And she grew up in a family where she was like, you know, the oldest and had to make sure everything was intact. So she was on the neater side. And, you know, as a guy, it's not your fault that, hey, you know, you're not neat. But if you're not trying to progress and try to be better, that's what the problem is. To be honest, we used to get in arguments.
Oh, God. I think that was like our number one argument.
Like when we first were dating, when we first like started like cohabitating,
yeah.
that was like one thing we used to get into it a lot about was, you know, cleanliness.
And,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm so glad and blessed, and I thank God so much that we've gotten past that to where that's not even an issue right now.
Yeah,
you know
it isn't.
That's
it
just
isn't
a
at all.
testament to the both of us.
And growth.
Yeah.
To even swing off of one of the things he said, James mentioned that he grew up with a whole bunch of guys, and you know, he said that I grew up, you know, being the oldest. I think when it comes to gender roles, it's super important to understand how you were nurtured in the environment that you grew up in, because that explains a lot as to what your expectations are in terms of gender roles.
That's true.
So like I know with me, my mom was super hardworking. My mom took care of everything. She cleaned, she cooked, she did it all. Yeah. So I would assume that with most women that grow up in a similar environment, they're like, oh, I don't need no man. Like, I'm a provider. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got this. I can cook, I can clean, I can cook, and I can do all this extra stuff. Not realizing that when you're placed in a relationship, it does take a sense of dependency. I don't even know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. Yeah. But it comes a time where you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to be like, okay, well, baby, I need you to take care of this. Oh, I need for you to take care of this as well. Oh, we're partners in this.
That's so true. I mean, you definitely hit the nail on the head with that one, because there are a lot of women that are growing up in single family homes where the mother is a strong woman that's taking care of everything, and a lot of women have that perception of, oh, like you're saying, they don't need no man.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So
and that feeds into gender roles, because the role of a woman, like I said, encompasses so much. Yeah. Yeah. And then it sometimes women often, you know, how can I say it? Sometimes, yes, that leads women to demasculate men. Yeah. You know, which again affects the gender roles and how, you know, the expectations are set forth for women as opposed to how the expectations are set forth for a man.
That's so true. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to segue into our next topic. And our next topic is sex in a relationship, gender-wise. So, we're going to talk about sex and I can't even say it, sex and gender roles, how gender roles play a factor into that. And she had to sit and see. All right.
Oh, so Lord. Again, we are Christian couples.
We are.
Well, we are uncut, and we just got to give it to you how we feel.
This is important, because sex is very important, especially in a married relationship. And for us, we are currently engaged, so we're, you know, learning a lot of things and preparing ourselves for when that time comes. Because, you know, one thing I know about sex in a marriage is it's good in a marriage. It's good. Great. It's great in a marriage. I mean, a lot of people try. It's great. Yeah, that's right. It's good. I'll just chill. All right, so a lot of people like to put a lot of negativity behind sex and a lot of shame, but it was made to be a beautiful thing. Yeah. And one thing I would like to say is that in a marriage or in a relationship, you know, no two relationships or no two sexual experiences with two partners are going to be the same. It's going to be different. You know, you have to set certain expectations in the sense of, okay, how many times a week, how many times a month are we going to have sex?
Oh, that sounds like a whole nother
episode. Or how many
episode.
times in a day are we going to have sex?
Oh, that sounds like a whole nother episode.
You get what I'm saying? So you have to kind of set those expectations up front. And in a marriage, if you deny your partner sex, in the Bible, it's a sin. You have to have like a legit reason to, oh, well, I'm on my period or something like that, or to where, you know, if you just are purposefully trying to deny your partner sex, that's a sin. You're denying them something that, you know, you made a commitment and a covenant about.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Oh, he real.
Nah, real.
Passionate about this
that's
topic.
What it is. Because
in terms of gender roles, baby.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is. Both man and woman, y'all both have to fulfill and satisfy each other.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. You bled it back in to gender roles.
That's right.
So just to cover sex, I agree with James 100% when it comes to gender roles and sex, it is most definitely both parties' responsibility to make sure that the other person is pleased.
Yeah.
It is times where he caters to me and daggone on it, it's times where I have to cater to him.
Yeah.
And not in a sexual way right now, obviously, because we're not married, but even in an emotional way.
Yeah.
Like in terms of intimacy, we cater to one another. So in terms of sex, or if you're not married, intimacy, gender roles, it bleeds on both ends. I have to make sure that he's satisfied in every way.
That's true.
And he has to make sure he puts effort to making sure that I'm satisfied in every way.
That's right. That comes with unlimited feet rubs, back massages, you know. So that's all part of it, you know. So that is our take on sex when it comes to gender roles. So next, what we're going to get into is leadership in gender roles in a relationship. Who is the leader? Who is the head of the household? Because that's also another power struggle that happens between relationships.
So much.
That, I mean, sometimes it's left unsaid. So, you know, we're going to cover that and, you know, get into it. So leadership in a family and a household. We'll talk about, you know, what the Bible says.
And we can talk about what society portrays as the norm or the expectation.
Yeah. You know, according to the Bible, you know, Adam was born or created first, and God knew that Adam by himself would not be able to fulfill his purpose. So that's why he created Eve. So Eve was taken from his rib, which is a part of him, to be able to fulfill his purpose.
Preacher.
So hey, I gotta let the people know. So now for real, because all too much you get into these relationships, or some relationships where there's a power struggle for who is the head of the household, and ultimately God is the head of the household. But God appointed the man to be the next of kin and head of the household in a relationship, and he is supposed to protect and love and be there for his wife, and his woman is supposed to help him fulfill their purpose.
That helpmate
to fulfill their purpose together. So in a relationship, when it comes to leadership, the woman is, and I refer to the Bible again, is a Proverbs 31 woman. So we'll put that scripture up, Proverbs 31, and if you go and read that Proverbs 31 chapter,
she is hardworking.
She's a boss.
Yes.
Like a Proverbs 31 woman, yo, like this is a Proverbs 31 woman right here. You know what I'm saying? She's not just trying to kick her feet up and have her man take care of her. No, she's out there trying to get it for her family.
Yeah.
She's up early in the morning. She's out there. She's, you know.
And you are too.
I know the man is too, but what it is that the woman is pretty much, you know, exemplifying, you know, the family. She is the glue to the family.
Wow.
So there shouldn't be a power struggle in a relationship, because ultimately both parties are essential, very essential, equally important.
Yeah.
Equally important.
Yeah. It's so interesting because you say that it shouldn't be a power struggle, but it was for us. Like, we have to be completely honest.
It was.
And I think it's because, and again, your story may be different than mine, but my personal story is I grew up in a household where my mom was so strong.
Yeah.
Like my mom, she does it all. She is superwoman.
Superwoman.
She don't need no man for nothing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's a lot of women and their struggle, because a lot of women, I would anticipate that they can relate to that story.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because when you're placed in a situation or an environment where your mother is a leader, your mother is the leader.
Yeah.
It's almost as if you grow up and the type of woman that you become you become so dominant to where you feel like you're the leader. You can only be a leader.
Yeah.
I think it's important for us to realize where we came from.
Yeah.
It's so important for us to understand the environment that we grew up in, because it molds us into the people that we are. A lot of women grow up with, single family homes where it's just with the mom, and their perspective is that the woman is the leader. So it's hard for them to adapt in a situation where they're in a relationship with a strong man and for allowing him to lead. It's a struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, sorry.
Nah, you're 100% right. Like, I mean, we did struggle. You get what I'm saying? We did struggle. And being a man, the woman has to be able to, be there. And, sometimes as a man, when you making decisions as a man, you definitely want to consult your woman, but you don't want your woman to be undermining your decision making. As a man, it's important for you to make certain decisions for your family. And the thing about it is, being a man in a relationship, you have to be even closer to God than anybody else. You get what I'm saying? Because you need that advice, you need that guidance from God to be able to lead your family in the right direction.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? In the Bible, the snake was only able to tempt Eve because Adam and Eve were separated. He couldn't come for Adam and Eve together. He had to wait till Eve was by herself so that he could, infiltrate and try to deceive her. But Adam and Eve together, united on one front, and Adam seeking and getting his advice from God, they're unstoppable. So as a man, you're supposed to seek your guidance from God and be able to lead the family. And the woman needs to be able to understand that and support the man.
Yes.
Knowing that the advice is coming from God, because she also has a connection with God. There's an important triangle that we learned in church, where it was like a triangle like this, and it was like woman down here, man down here, and then God in the top. They're all connected, but the woman and the man are on the same level, but they're all connected to God at the top. So I would say, for leadership wise, if you really want a solid foundation in your family, connect your relationship to God. At the end of the day, point blank and period, connect your relationship to God, because you don't have anything else to fall back on if you're not, and you're struggling, you're dealing with these things. Because society's not going to tell you the right thing.
That's true.
Society's going to tell you, you don't need no man, leave him alone, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't need no girl.
You don't need no girl. I can do this on my own. I'm a player. I got plenty of women. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just, society's going to tell you all kind of nonsense.
And society is forever changing.
Forever.
So what may fit in this century is a completely different norm than this century.
They not doing the same thing they was doing in the 1920s as they doing now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have an anchor that never changes, and that's God.
Absolutely. So just to piggyback off of what James said, leadership, gender roles, absolutely God is number one, and the man is the head of the household in terms of leadership, and so is the woman. The woman, again, we are more so the helpmates in terms of leadership. And I think it's super important. This just came to me. Speak to me, Lord. It's okay, women, when your man is making a decision, for him to pass that decision along to you. It's okay for your man to pass along a decision to you. I think that makes a great leader. A leader and a man who can delegate. So if your man is not good when it comes to finances, it's okay for him to delegate as a leader, to be like, hey, baby, you real good at this accounting stuff. You a financial advisor? Go ahead, girl. Go ahead and take care of these finances. And I think that's a primary principle or primary characteristic trait in a good quality leader. Is being able to delegate. And I think that's worked in our favor, because although he's the leader, he is the leader, God, and then he is the leader. he has allowed for me to take leadership roles and qualities that he knows that I prevail in.
Yeah.
Finances,
yeah,
cooking, or
Yeah.
you know, making sure you know the house is straight and
Yeah.
things to that form.
and administrative stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's the thing, and it's in a partnership. You know, you have certain people that have, you know, strengths
Certain
and
gifts.
weaknesses, and we both have certain strengths and weaknesses and certain gifts, something we're good at. And in order to thrive in that, you have to be able to do that thing, and the thing that you're not good at, let your partner succeed in doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When she handles certain things and she handles it so well, I'm able to sit back and say, wow, babe, you are
Good
amazing.
job.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
And that doesn't make him any less of a man,
No.
and that doesn't make him any less of a leader.
No.
Because if you think about it, the president doesn't do everything.
He doesn't. He doesn't. CEO of companies, they not
Don't do
out here
everything.
doing everything. Even though they can do everything,
Yeah.
they choose to delegate it so that, you know, the work gets done more effectively. And vice versa. She can delegate certain things to me
Yeah.
that she may not be as good at. And,
Changing
you know,
the tire.
or something like, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I'm saying?
Cleaning the tub.
Cleaning the tub, you know, you got to get down
Washing
in
the
there.
cars.
You got to get down in there, and you know, if you're a man, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
So the last topic that we're going to talk about is children, kids,
Ooh.
gender-wise in a relationship.
And we're probably gonna keep this short because we don't have any kids.
We don't have any children, but it's important for us to understand this topic,
But when we do,
because when we do, which we plan on having children, we want to be able to already come in a step up.
Yeah.
And this is going to be important. This entire topic is important for not only, you know, all types of relationships, whether you're single and in a relationship, whether you got kids, gender roles. So who, like, you know what I'm saying, gender roles when it comes to kids, who raises the children, and, you know, how do both genders play a factor into it?
I have the most amazing parents. I'm
Yes,
just
we both
so
do.
blessed.
We both do. Amazing parents.
How did we get so lucky?
You know, we did.
We
did.
are
We did
so
that.
lucky.
Yeah.
Like
They did that.
We did that.
We
Like,
did that. Like we
you
gave,
guys
like we
to
gave
be our
birth to them.
But like I said, I have like the most amazing parents, and I contribute that to both parents.
Yeah.
Although my mom had me, you know, most of the time, my dad, you know, he embraced me with his love and, you know, took me back and forth to Ghana and just things like that. So for me, it took having the love from both parents
Yeah.
to really make me who I am today. I feel like it's important for both parents to play a role in their child's lives. I don't think that
That's
it's
true.
okay for just a mom to take care of the children, because at the end of the day, kids need both a mom and a dad.
Yes.
Which is why it takes two to conceive them and it takes two to raise them.
Yeah. It's 100% right. You know, it takes two parents to be able to raise a child or be able to raise a family. When it comes to the man, you know, a man is there in a child's life for, you know, security and guidance, especially for a boy, raising a boy. A man is supposed to teach the boy how to become a man. And a woman is supposed to teach her daughter how to become a woman. And together they're both supposed to teach their children how to become a family and a family unit, and looking at the way the man and the woman interact with each other, because that's what they're gonna pick up off of. They're gonna mimic that. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for the man and the woman to have a strong foundation secured in God. That way you have a good example to show to your children.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because, you know, as we're talking about gender roles and we're talking about raising children, this is the cycle, you guys.
Yes, it is.
This is where the expectations and the gender roles start.
Yes.
When you're a child and you see your mom and your dad working good together and they're making things happen and they're good partners and they have a great relationship rooted in God, that's what's going to create a great moving working cycle.
Yes.
A healthy working cycle.
Yes.
But sometimes, you know, when things get off track and you have a single father or you have a single mother and, you know, expectations get construed because you have certain situations where you have one person doing everything and the other person not being there or being absent.
Yeah.
That's where you have relationships like us where it takes a lot of work to make sure we weed out those bad cycles and bad habits to create good ones.
That's so true. And it's all about breaking, you know, certain generational habits that were not good, because nobody's perfect at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
No family is going to be perfect, but if you have a good foundation in a family, the child is able to, you know, mimic that and see that.
Yeah.
And the influences from media and friends don't really play as much of a factor to how their perception is. Because if they see a really good home, you can't really tell them so much on media and, you know, in person that's going to sway them from the way they believe. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll be like, this worked for my mom and dad. Yeah. So it's going to work for me if I do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's just our, you know, take
philosophy on everything.
Philosophy on having children. And guys, this has been a fun episode on gender roles.
Yes.
Make sure you subscribe. Leave comments below on topics that you guys want to talk about. Tell us
how you feel your gender roles are in your personal relationship, or how they are in your family, and how that has kind of seeped into your relationship. We would love to hear.
That's right. Until next time, guys.
All right, guys.
Ansah's Uncut.